A very good morning, class 11th. After finishing with our bronchi, trachea, and pharynx and larynx, now we are moving to our main structure, that is our respiratory structure, that is the structure of lungs. And today we are going to talk about two things. One is the structure of lungs in complete detail, as well as I will going to thoroughly discuss that is the mechanism of breathing, that how do we inhale here air and exhale it. So let's see one by one how the things work. That if we talk about the structure of lungs, many times I have told you that our lungs, they are situated in the thoracic chamber. So first of all, you need to understand that our body is divided into head, thorax, and abdomen, right? These are the basically these are the three areas where different structures are present. As you can see that in the head area there is the cranial cavity, and here in the thorax there is the thoracic cavity where your lungs are present, and there is the abdominal cavity, and the last one is the pelvic cavity. So these are the spaces, these are the areas where different structures are present in our body. So where is our lungs? They are present in our thoracic cavity. So lungs, they are present in our thoracic chamber. When I say thoracic chamber, means it is kind of a space, it is kind of a room, and it lungs chamber, where the thoracic chamber in our body, it is a very closed, इट इज़ वेरी एयर टाइट चैम्बर एनाटमिकली. अगर आप इंटरनल एनाटमी होता है कि इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चर्स जब हम स्टडी करते हैं, सो व्हेन वी स्टडी इंटरनली आवर बॉडी, देन द thoracic chamber is our air tight chamber, complete packed. Now see how is it how it is packed actually. If I have to show you that how it is packed, let's see. As see, it is formed dorsally. Dorsally means at the back side there is the vertebral column, that is your backbone, and ventrally by the sternum. On front side, look on the front side, there is the sternum. Dorsal means back, ventral means your front, that is your sternum, and lateral means side. On the side, what does it have? It have ribs. And lower side, कोई भी साइड बचा नहीं है. लोअर साइड इट हैज़ डायफ्राम. सो नाउ लुक एट द कवर. बैक साइड पे वर्टिब्रल कॉलम आ रहा है, फ्रंट साइड देयर इज अ स्टर्नम, एंड लेटरल साइड on the sides, both the sides, it is covered with the ribs, 12 pair of ribs, and then there is the at the lower side there is a dome shaped diaphragm. So that is the reason we are saying that our thoracic chamber, it is complete tightly packed. So here now let's talk about the structure of lungs one by one. We discussed till this point that this is our trachea. Trachea is coming, and this will branch out into the primary bronchi, right? So that is our primary bronchus. This one first branches primary bronchus. Then we said this will divide further into secondary, right? Now this secondary, it will enter into further lobes. Right lung, this is your right lung, this one is our right lung. So right lung has 3 lobes. So now you can look out the lobes with me. So as you can see one by one, this one is our superior lobe. This one जो मैंने अभी ये area जो draw किया है, and this. So this area, that is middle lobe, and the lower one is the inferior lobe. In the right lung we have 3 lobes. One is this upper one, superior lobe, then is the middle lobe, and there is the inferior lobe. So here is, if we look at this, let's divide it. So this one is having 2 lobes. Left lung, that is the upper one is superior and lower one is inferior lobe. Now this primary bronchi is further branching out into the secondary bronchus, right? This is, as you can see, this is our secondary bronchus. Now this secondary bronchus, it entering into each lobe. There is the, just follow the blue one, this further divide into the branches, and these are called your tertiary bronchi. Here one is entering into inferior, one is entering into middle, and others, they are entering into your superior lobe. So these, in this way, these are the tertiary. If I have to mark for you, then this one is tertiary bronchi. Okay, so first is the primary, which will divide into secondary and then tertiary. So now each lung, if you look at the structure of lung, each lung is like a triangular structure. It is having the triangular kind of structure, and left lung is smaller than the right lung because it is having the cardiac notch, and in this cardiac notch, what is present? Heart is present. So as you can see, this is triangular structure, and right lung is little bigger than your left lung. And these bronchi, they enter, how they enter? When they enter, now this bronchi, this bronchus, now I will mark it with green, this bronchi, it is entering into the lungs now. So the area or the point through which they enter, this point is called your hilum. The point through which now bronchi, bronchi enter into the lung, this point is called hilum. So through hilum, primary bronchi enter into the lungs. That is clear. Now this lung is covered with a double membrane. First I have covered it with the red, and then there is a green. So there are two membranes, and these membrane of lungs, they are known as pleura. So here we have two membrane, one is red in color, this one, this is called, the inner membrane is called visceral pleura. Inner membrane of lung is called visceral pleura, and outer, which is green in color, this is outer membrane, it is called parietal pleura. Okay, so membrane around the lungs, two membrane, one is visceral pleura and another one is parietal pleura. Now there is the fluid filled between these membrane, and this fluid is known as pleural fluid. And at the base, who is holding these lungs? Who is holding? Muscular diaphragm. And what is the cardiac notch? Cardiac notch is the area in the left lung at which heart is present. So this is the complete structure of your lungs. You have to draw that your trachea divide into your primary bronchi then divide into secondary bronchus, and then it will move into your tertiary bronchi, right? And there is the superior lobe, inferior lobe, and middle lobe in case of right lung, and superior and inferior lobe in case of left lung. Then there are double membrane structure. Inner membrane is known as visceral pleura, and outer membrane is known as parietal pleura, and they are filled with the fluid, that is pleural fluid. Now if we have to mark the difference between right lung and left lung, right lung, I already told you, it is little bigger in size, and left lung is smaller. Right lung is divided into three lobes: superior, middle and inferior. And the left lung, it is if this is the structure, then left lung is divided into two lobes, that is your superior and inferior. And this right lung, it is divided into your three, that is divided into three: superior, middle and inferior. Heavier, right lung is heavier, it is 620 grams, and left lung is smaller in the weight, and it is 160 grams. And one more difference you can mention here, that cardiac notch is absent. Cardiac notch is absent in right lung, and cardiac notch is present in case of your left lung. So there is the difference between your right and left lung. Both lungs, they are surrounded by double membrane, and these membranes, they are known as pleural membranes. Inner membrane is known as visceral pleura and outer membrane is known as parietal pleura, and the fluid between them, that is known as pleural fluid. There is the function why would they need pleural fluid. Actually this fluid, because they are having protective membrane, so the fluid between the membrane, it protect the lungs from any kind of mechanical injury or mechanical shock, and this act as a lubricant. Usko बहुत ज़्यादा little bit it makes the lubricates the lungs. And the best part is because it is present between two membranes, so it is holding these visceral pleura and parietal pleura together strongly. So this is a function of your pleural fluid which you should know. Now in left lung we saw depression, and this depression is known as cardiac notch. I already told you that in right lung there is no cardiac notch, and in left lung you will find the cardiac notch. Now if we talk about the number, primary bronchi. See, primary bronchi, this is the trachea. One bronchi enter into right lung and one bronchi enter into left lung. So primary bronchi, they are 2 in number. Secondary bronchi, now they will divide further, right? They will divide, and here this will divide, and there will be division, and here it will go there and there. So primary secondary bronchi, as you can see, they are 3 in your right lung and 2 in your left lung. Tertiary bronchi number changes. Now tertiary bronchi, they are 10 in your right lung and 8 in your left lung. So total lung, total complete lung is present in the thoracic cage, and a muscular diaphragm, it is a dome shaped, which is holding these lungs together. Now, how is this thoracic chamber formed? I already told you that the back side, from the dorsal side, we use the word not back here, we use the word dorsal. So dorsal side, it is lined with it is covered with the vertebral column. Ventrally, there is the sternum, and laterally there is the ribs, and lower side it is having the dome shaped diaphragm. This our dome shaped diaphragm is present below these lungs in the abdominal cavity. Actually it is separating the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. Now as you can see, this is a airtight chamber, airtight. So now any change, if small change even the volume of thoracic cavity occur, that show a change in the lung cavity or the pulmonary cavity, and this change is actually essential for us to breathe in and breathe out. Because if directly air is coming in and there is no specific cavity is available, then you cannot maintain this change. We cannot react directly change the pulmonary volume. We do not have that much capacity that our system can directly change the pulmonary volume. So that is why, that is the function of thoracic cavity, that it maintain the volume in the pulmonary cavity also, where your lungs are present. So same with that note, now let's see the mechanism of breathing. Breathing is involved with two processes. Kaun si? That is we inhale, that is called inhalation. We take in air, that is your taking in oxygen. So inhalation, inspiration, right? And then second is when you throw out the air, exhale, expiration. So inhalation is an active process. We will see that why it is an active process. Exhalation, it is the passive process. So let's see start with the inhalation. Inhalation is involving, as you can see that in lungs, we are not talking about any kind of muscles. So when air has to move in and it has to move out, so there are few muscles are involved. So lungs as such not having the muscles, but two inspiratory muscles, or we are calling them as the two muscles which are present in your diaphragm and in the ribs. They are helping in this inhalation inhalation process. So these are called inspiratory muscles. First one is the diaphragm we will talk about, and then we will talk about the intercostal muscles which are present in the ribs. There are actually, ribs have two types of muscles, external and internal intercostal muscles, but here we are concentrating on the external intercostal muscles only. Now diaphragm is, as you know, that diaphragm is the dome shaped structure, and in the thoracic cavity, what do you having on the sides? You are on the sides, you are having ribs, and lower side we are having diaphragm. So as you can see, this is our diaphragm, and there is this from the diaphragm there are the muscles which are attached here, right? And these muscles, they are attached to your ribs. Now the intercostal muscles जो ribs के साथ होते हैं, they are attached here. ये ribs हैं तो यहाँ पे intercostals होते हैं, but here these muscles which are, जो हमारे diaphragm से attached होते हैं with the ribs, diaphragm to ribs attached होते हैं, they are called phrenic muscles or radial muscles. Actually they are attached along the periphery of diaphragm. Means if this is your diaphragm, इसके around जो सारा muscles attached हैं, these muscles are called radial muscles. These are called phrenic or radial muscle. Periphery मतलब उसके पूरी surrounding को जो cover करते हैं, these are the radial muscles. Now just imagine that when these muscles contract, they will pull the diaphragm, and when they will, now these muscles they contract, they will pull the diaphragm, and now this diaphragm will become flat, right? Once they will pull, as you can see that they will contract, they will pull the diaphragm, and this diaphragm become flat. Intercostal muscles, they are present in the ribs, and we have 12 pairs of ribs, and in between them there are the 11 pairs of external intercostal muscles. These are the external intercostal muscles we are going to talk about here. So now, when these phrenic or radial muscles contract, diaphragm become flat. Now you can see that first your diaphragm was here, the position, and now due to contraction of the muscles it become flat. So your cavity, thoracic cavity में जो volume है, volume of thoracic cavity increases, right? So volume of thoracic cavity increases. Same when your now these are our rib muscles, intercostal muscles where they are present. Now when they will contract, rib cage, it will move out. Rib cage will move out and up. It will move out and up. And when it will move out and up, what happened? Thoracic cavity increases. As you can see, look at this picture, you will have clear idea that when you inhale air, now the muscles there which are present in your diaphragm, these radial muscles, they will contract, and when these muscles they will contract, diaphragm moves down, and volume in the thoracic cavity increases. Volume increase होता है तो pressure in the lung decreases, and now rib cage, because यहाँ पे कौन से muscles contract हो रहे हैं? External intercostal muscles. So when the external intercostal muscles contract, rib cage expand, and due to now this expansion, the volume increases, pressure decreases. It is approximately, we usually say that -2 to -6 mm of mercury as compared to your atmospheric pressure. There is in the lungs pressure decreases, and this create a negative pressure as compared to the atmosphere. Now in atmosphere there is a high pressure, and in your lungs pressure is low. So air कहाँ से कहाँ move करेगी? Air will move from high pressure to low pressure. And air, so air jab high pressure to low pressure move karegi, so it will come from atmosphere to the lungs. So this is the way we inspire. This is how inhalation takes place. Your radial or phrenic muscles contract, rib expand because of the external intercostal muscles. So this is the main thing, that external intercostal muscles contract, rib cage moves upwards, this move upwards, and as well as out. As you can see, this moves up and out, moves up and out because of the contraction. The diaphragm also contract, and when diaphragm contract, it change from the shape of dome to the flat shape. So volume increases, with the volume pressure decreases and air moves in. Next is the totally opposite to this is exhalation. When radial muscles, now they are relaxed. Now your radial muscles, these muscles, now they are in relaxed position. Diaphragm, when it is in relaxed position, then it back to the dome position. Now with volume will increase or volume will decrease? Volume will decrease. Diaphragm is also relaxing, so volume is decreased. With the decrease in the volume, pressure is getting increased, right? So when pressure is getting increasing, now see, when intercostal muscles relax, rib cage come back to normal position, thoracic cavity volume decreases. High pressure will develop in lungs, and air का तो काम ही वही है, that air always move from high pressure to low pressure. So now from the lungs, air will be exhaled out in the atmosphere, because what is the phenomena? The air moves from high pressure to from lungs to the atmosphere. Now in the starting I said that inspiration is a inhalation is the active process, right? Why active? So as you can see, there is the contraction of muscles, and because for the contraction of that muscles, what do you need? You need energy. So that is why we are saying that this is inhalation is an active process, and exhalation, everything is in relaxed. You do not know you don't want any kind of energy, so that is why it is passive process. So here exhalation is clear to you, that intercostal muscles, when they are relaxed, they come back to their normal position. The pressure, because volume is decreasing down, so pressure is increasing. Due to pressure increase in the pressure, the air will be exhaled out. A healthy human breathes usually 12 to 16 times per minute. And if we have to check this inspiration and expiration air involved, which is in breathing movement, that is checked by, or that is estimated by the that is spirometer, that is estimated by equipment spirometer. Like the blood pressure ke liye we use sphygmomanometer, here for the air, for checking the breathing movement, we use spirometer.